Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, reading from ChaitanyaMangala, and this is the what is this? This is the Sutra-Khanda, and it is part 2 of chapter 2. The main heading for this chapter is Krishna's decision to descend as a devotee. And we are at the section where Narada Muni now has the good news that Lord Chaitanya, Krishna will be appearing as Krishna Chaitanya very shortly to munificently distribute the highest mood of love of Godhead to everyone indiscriminately in the Kali Yuga. Om Agnatimirandasya Gnagna Salakaya Chakshun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance. My spiritual master has opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my most respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So, ChaitanyaMangala of Lochana Dasa, and this is Narada visits Brahmaloka. As he traveled, a stream of nectarine melodies rose from his vina, enchanting the ears of the three worlds. Losing external consciousness, Narada couldn't walk properly, and his face turned red due to love. Although unaware of his fatigue, when he arrived in Brahmaloka, he was covered with drops of perspiration. Seeing his son in this condition, Lord Brahma had mixed feelings of concern and happiness as he welcomed the great sage. Narada offered respects to Brahma, his father and spiritual master. In a fatherly mood, Brahma lifted him up, embraced him, and asked him about his well-being. Lord Brahma said, "Narada, I feel immensely satisfied to behold your beautiful face. Please fill my ears with the nectar of your words. Hearing you will soothe my heart. Where have you been? Whom have you met? What have you experienced?" Before Narada could answer, his body began trembling in transcendental ecstasy. Tears flooded his eyes, and his face reddened with feelings of joy. Then Narada said, "Brahma, listen to a wonderful story. You are the creator of everything, and the name Brahmanda comes from your name. According to the characteristics of each age, the people follow a particular type of dharma. In Kali Yuga, people are extremely sinful. At the end of Dwapara Yuga, people were full of sorrow and lamentation. They became afraid of the upcoming age of Kali. The situation pained me so much that I went straight to the Lord. I boldly asked him about his deliverance of the people in Kali Yuga. I told him I was worried because the Brahmins are not following the Vedas. As a result, the people have very little inclination to religious practices." And hearing my words of distress, the Lord, who's full of all transcendental qualities, said, "Narada, to deliver the people in the age of Kali, I will personally descend and preach the science of devotional service. The benefits one derives from charity, sacrifice, austerity, and religious activities will automatically come simply by doing Harinam Sankirtan." The Lord continued, "Narada, although the age of Kali is full of faults, just by chanting my holy names, one will obtain freedom from material existence. Now, please go to the abodes of Brahma, Shiva, and the others. Tell them to take birth on earth in Kali Yuga, and in the form of Lord Gauranga, the embodiment of compassion, I will also descend." On hearing Narada's description, a seed of sweet love sprouted within the heart of Lord Brahma. he became overwhelmed with love of God. Tears streamed down his cheeks, and Brahma picked up Narada and placed him on his lap. At that time, Lord Brahma said, "O dear sage, your mercy fills my heart with pleasure. People are blinded by sense gratification and ignorance of the truth. By your mercy, they will become free from Maya's clutches. Delivering fallen people is your only activity. Please listen attentively. I want to tell you about a recent experience. Some time ago, my sons, like Shanaka and other sages, came here to reveal their minds. They said, 'Lord Brahma, you are the dear son of the Lord. Please give some relief and give some brief answers to our questions.' Then the sages glorified the qualities of Lord Vishnu. The sages said, 'The Lord is inconceivable, inexhaustible, and eternally blissful. He's full of spiritual energy, very subtle, and the controller of all controllers. He's all-pervading and the very form of religion. The Lord is unlimited and devoid of any material qualities. He's free from all contamination and has no material form. He has no beginning, no middle or end. This can be realized only by pure consciousness.'" The sages continued, "Although unborn, the Lord seems to take birth in the material nature. Lord Sri Krishna relished transcendental ras with the gopis in Vrindavan. He acted just like an ordinary lusty man, enjoying conjugal affairs, though everyone knows that the Lord is the true Atma of all living entities, whether man or woman. So we want to know why the Lord disturbs our minds by performing such unusual pleasure pastimes. Brahma, please dispel our doubts by telling us the truth." Lord Brahma said to Narada, "O Narada, please listen attentively." Hearing the doubts of the sages filled my heart with anxiety. I became morose because I also could not fathom the mystery of the Lord's transcendental sports. Literally, there are hundreds of Brahmas like me who don't understand the subject. These truths lie far beyond the knowledge of Vedanta. While I was expressing my heart like this, the Lord manifested a wonderful form before me. He appeared as Hamsa Avatar. Lord Hamsa said, "Lord Brahma, the solution to the sage's question appears in the Chatur-Sloki, the 4 seed verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam. I will now disclose this to you." Lord Brahma continued, "Narada, I must tell you that the Chatur-Sloki are the very source of all my bliss. No one in the universe knows the truth about this. For many days, Srila Vyasadeva stayed in Namasharanya, describing the Mahabharata and the Puranas. After explaining these subjects, Vyasadeva still felt morose. Overcome by bewilderment, he did not know what to do. In the middle of the jungle, he just lost external consciousness. Understanding his difficulty, the Lord became compassionate. Summoning me, the Lord spoke the nectarine Chatur-Sloki, and then he ordered me to give this transcendental treasure to Vyas. At that time, the Lord said, "Brahmaji, Vyasadeva does not know the inner meaning of my pastimes. Give him these 4 verses. Let him write Srimad Bhagavatam based on these slokas. Then speak the Bhagavat to Narada Muni, on whose tongue Goddess Saraswati always resides. Tell Narada that in every yuga he is the most merciful to the living entities." Lord Brahma continued, "Narada, no other scripture compares with Srimad Bhagavatam, which is completely transcendental. Narada, you should teach the Bhagavat in order to deliver all living entities. There's no other subject in the Bhagavat except glorification of the supremely independent, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. Anyone who misunderstands this point is a fool." The Yuga Avatars. Narada, now I remember some Bhagavat verses spoken by Garga Muni at the time of Lord Krishna's name-giving ceremony on earth. Gargamuni described that in different yugas or ages, the Lord appears on the earth in various incarnations. Gargamuni said in the Srimad Bhagavatam, "Your son Krishna appears as an incarnation in every millennium. In the past, he assumed 3 different colors, white, red, and yellow, and now he has appeared in a blackish color. In another Dwapara Yuga, he appeared as Lord Ramachandra, the color of Shuka, or parrot. All such incarnations have now assembled in Krishna." Lord Brahma said, "Some people question the break in the usual sequence of the 4 yugas. They think that the Lord appeared in the 4 yugas in only 3 colors. In reality, there are only 4 colors, white, red, yellow, and black, and 4 yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali. Please consider which age Lord Gauranga belongs to. For the benefit of ignorant people, I will now explain this by quoting various verses in Srimad Bhagavatam. King Nimi inquired from Karabhajan Muni, "In what colors and forms does the Supreme Personality of Godhead appear in each of the different ages? And with what names and by what types of regulative principles is the Lord worshipped in society?" Sri Karabhajan Muni replied, "In each of the 4 yugas or ages, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali, Lord Keshava appears with various complexions, names, and forms, and is thus worshipped by various processes. In Satya Yuga, the Lord is white and 4-armed, has matted locks, and wears a garment of tree bark. He carries a black deerskin, a sacred thread, prayer beads, and a rod and water pot of a brahmachari. People in Satya Yuga are peaceful, non-envious, friendly to every creature, and steady in all situations. They worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by austere meditation and internal and external sense control. In Satya Yuga, the Lord is glorified by the names Hamsa, Suparna, Vaikunta, Dharma, Yogeshwara, Amala, Ishvara, Purusha, Avyakta, Paramatma. In Treta Yuga, the Lord appears with a red complexion. He has 4 arms, golden hair, and wears a triple belt representing initiation into each of the 3 Vedas. He embodies the knowledge of worship by sacrificial performance, which is contained in the Rig, Sama, and Yajur Vedas. His symbols are a ladle, a spoon, and other implements of sacrifice. In Treta Yuga, those members of human society who are fixed in religiosity and are sincerely interested in achieving the absolute truth worship Lord Hari, who contains within himself all the demigods. The Lord is worshipped by the rituals of sacrifice taught in the 3 Vedas. In Treta Yuga, the Lord is glorified by the names Vishnu, Yagna, Prishnigarma, Sarvadev, Urukram, Vrishakapi, Jayanta, and Urugai. In Dwapara Yuga, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears with a dark blue complexion, wearing yellow garments. The Lord's transcendental body is marked in this incarnation with shrivats and other distinctive ornaments, and he manifests his personal weapons. My dear King, in Dwapara Yuga, men who desire to know the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the supreme enjoyer, worship in a mood of honoring a great king, following the prescriptions of both the Vedas and Tantras. Obeisances to you, O Supreme Lord Vasudeva, and to your forms of Shankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. O Supreme Personality of Godhead, all obeisances unto you. O Lord Narayan Rishi, O Creator of the universe, best of all personalities, Master of this cosmos, and original form of the universe. O Supersoul of all created entities, all homage unto you. O King, in this way, people in Dwarka Yuga glorify the Lord of the universe. In Kali Yuga also, people worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by following various regulations of revealed scriptures. Now kindly hear this from me. So that's the end of the Srimad Bhagavatam quote. but there's some more Bhagavatam quotes here. Lord Brahma continued speaking to Narada Muni. Listen, Narada, the 3 yugas, Satya, Dwapara, and Treta, have already passed. And white, red, and black color avatars have already appeared respectively. The great sage Karabhajana has explained this. Now hear what the sage says about the incarnation in Kali Yuga. Krishna Varnam Tvasa Krishnam Sango Pangastra Sadam Yagnai Sankirtana Prayer Yajanti Hi Sumedasa. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He's accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, confidential companions. The Bhagavad Gita predicts Gauranga's advent. Lord Brahma said, Narada, listen carefully to my explanation. Whenever the Srimad Bhagavatam mentions the 2 syllables Krish and Na, it refers to Lord Sri Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. The word Akrishna, mentioned in the verse quoted above, means he was not black in complexion, but golden. Therefore we sing Gora, Gora. The Lord incarnated with his eternal associates, his followers, and his weapons, which took the form of devotees. I say the word Anga means Balaram, which I call Sangha. The word Upanga refers to all of his ornaments. His Sudarshan disc and other weapons appeared as his associates along with Narada and Prahlad. Sri Krishna's eternal associates who had served him in previous incarnations appeared now as Sri Krishna Chaitanya's companions and associates. At the time of Lord Chaitanya, someone will identify his associates and give their previous names in Krishna's pastimes. Common people will have difficulty to understand this, what to speak of the low-minded. For this reason, the sage Karabhajana said, Sumedasa, only intelligent people will understand. In the age of Kali, religion will manifest in the form of Sankirtan Yagna. Intelligent people will taste ecstasy by chanting the Lord's holy names. Sri Krishna, 3 kalas, 4 yugas. Now I will explain again how Lord Krishna came in 3 different colors in the 4 yugas. In Satya and Treta yugas, the Lord appeared in 2 colors, white and red. In Kali and Dwapara yuga, the Lord came in 1 color, black. However, there's actually no break in the sequence of colors mentioned by Gargamuni in the Srimad Bhagavatam. There he said the Lord appeared white, red, yellow colors in the 3 previous ages. Now, Narada, listen to a blissful elaboration of the Sanskrit words used by Gargamuni. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Gargamuni said that the 4 yugas appear within the 3 phases of time, past, present, and future. After passing Satya and Treta yugas, Krishna comes himself in Dwapara yuga. Then in Kali yuga, Krishna himself incarnates as his holy names. Gargamuni has used the word idanim, which means recently, but this pastime will happen in the future. The word bhavisya means future. A scholar can prove the meaning of the future by knowing the past. This is sufficiently indicated by the word tata in that place, which refers to the Lord's red and white incarnations that have already been seen. The yellow color will be seen in Kali Yuga when Lord has appeared in yellow color as Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. If someone doesn't accept my explanation, then he must explain why Gargamuni used the word tata in this verse. Lochana Dasa says, please accept these statements as correct and don't ignore them. Lord Brahma continued speaking to Narada. This explanation is the supreme proof which shows why Krishna is the avatar for Kali Yuga. Although there is a debate about Krishna's appearance as an avatar outside the normal time, if you hear carefully, you will understand the truth. The other avatars are either parts or expansions of the parts of Lord Sri Krishna. And Krishna himself is the personality of Godhead. He is not an incarnation, as proven in Srimad Bhagavatam. Quote, all the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists. Using the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam, I will explain why Krishna is called a Yuga avatar. Gargamuni's realizations are difficult to understand for ignorant people like us. Only an intelligent devotee can understand. Gargamuni said that in the 4 yugas, the Lord appeared in 4 colors, in 3 different times, past, present, and future. In Satya, Treta, Dwarpa, Kali yugas, the Lord appears in white, red, yellow, and black colors, respectively. Who is the fountainhead of all incarnation? Sri Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, who appeared in the Yadu dynasty, is the source, and all others are his expansions. The Lord comes to establish religion and destroy the atheists. In Dwarpa Yuga, the Supreme Lord Krishna himself appeared on earth. In Kali Yuga, Krishna came as Lord Gaurachandra. They're the same, but they're also different. According to Vyasadeva in Srimad Bhagavatam, in 2 yugas, Dwarpa and Kali, 2 incarnations of the Lord had the same color, Krishna, blackish. Narada, it's explained in the Brihat Sahasranam Stotra that Lord Shiva appears in the beginning of Kali Yuga. He takes the form of Shankaracharya and promotes atheism by preaching impersonal philosophy. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna promises that whenever and wherever religion is reduced, he comes to earth to remove atheism and reestablish religion. Due to ignorance, people in Kali Yuga become absorbed in sinful activities and sense gratification. Thus they remain bound in the miserable material existence. Gauranga, Kali Yuga, and Sankirtan. In every yuga, the Supreme Lord comes to earth to deliver the saints, destroy atheism, and re-establish religious principles. In Kali Yuga, Krishna comes as the Gauranga avatar to propagate the chanting of the holy names as the universal Yuga Dharma. Glorification of God's holy names is the only religion for the age of Kali. Other than the Supreme Lord himself, who else could have established the Yuga Dharma of Harinam Sankirtan, which quickly and effectively removes the sins of the age of Kali. Charity, sacrifice, austerity, yajna, self-control, studying the scriptures, renouncing material desires, and other religious principles are automatically attained by sincerely chanting Hare Krishna. The unlimited glories and qualities of Krishna's holy names destroy ignorance and free one from the horrible cycle of birth and death. Not knowing this essential quality of the age of Kali, people think that it is just a dark age full of sins. Actually, Kali Yuga is the most wonderful age because of this one quality. From any position, sinful living entities can attain salvation simply by performing Harinam Sankirtan. After saying this, Lord Brahma, overwhelmed with ecstasy, warmly embraced Narada Muni. Then Brahman stood up suddenly and proclaimed, "One will attain unlimited sense pleasure and satisfy all his senses simply by seeing the radiantly beautiful form of Lord Gauranga." Lord Brahma continued his discussion by quoting some Shastric verses to verify Lord Krishna's appearance as Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu and to glorify Kali Yuga and the process of Harinam Sankirtan. He cited the Mahabharata Vishnu Sahasranam Stotra. When Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appears as Shri Gauranga, his complexion is golden, Suvarna, in his early pastimes. His limbs are the color of molten white gold, Hemanga. His body is extremely beautiful, Varangas, and he is decorated with sandalwood pulp, Chandan Nagadi. These four are the symptoms of the Lord's Grihastha Leela. The Lord will take sannyas and show equanimity in different ways by describing the mysteries of devotion to Sri Krishna and by satisfying everyone with knowledge and attachment to Krishna. The Lord is peaceful because he renounces all topics not related to the service of Krishna. His mind is always fixed in performing Harinam Sankirtan. He silences those opposed to the Lord's service by teaching pure devotion. He is the abode of the highest spiritual peace and devotion. Lord Brahma quoted another verse to show that Lord Chaitanya's appearance was also predicted in the Bhavishya Purana. The Supreme Lord said, "In Kali Yuga, I will appear as the son of Sachi and inaugurate the Sankirtan movement. There is no doubt about this." Lord Brahma continued speaking. "Narada, listen to some more wonderful topics. The age of Kali is full of darkness, impiety, and sinful acts. The few pious activities that remain are diminishing day by day. The essence of all religions is contained in Harinam Sankirtan. The chanting of the holy names will spread all over the world. If a materialist chants the name of Hari, the Lord will give him sense gratification. One who chants with faith, however, will give up all sense enjoyment and conquer the Lord by his pure love. In Kali Yuga, chanting the Lord's names and qualities is the supreme religion. Harinam Sankirtan is like a big axe to cut the hard knot of sinful activities. The age of Kali is so special that anyone from previous yuga wants to take birth in this age. Why? They want the opportunity to chant Hare Krishna and preach the holy names. This fact is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Quote, "The inhabitants of Satya Yuga and other ages eagerly desire to take birth in the age of Kali, since in this age there will be many devotees of the Supreme Lord." End quote. When the all-powerful Supreme Lord Krishna came, why didn't he give prema bhakti to the sinful? What other avatar would give prema even to the undeserving and unsurrendered? That type of compassion was unseen in other yuga. That supremely merciful form of the Supreme Lord is none other than Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. A religious man accumulates great benefits, destroys his impious acts by doing pious works, going on pilgrimage, and by following religious rituals. But none of these compares with chanting Hare Krishna. A religious man accumulates great benefits and destroys his impious acts by doing pious works, going on pilgrimages, and by following religious rituals. But none of these compares with chanting Hare Krishna. In summary, it's quite clear Kali Yuga is the best of all ages. There is absolutely no other dharma, religious practice, save and except congregational chanting of Lord Krishna's holy names. After full deliberation, Lord Brahma came to this conclusion. Narada was extremely delighted to hear these things from Lord Brahma. In appreciation, the sage showered forth sweet music from his veena. Then Narada said, "Brahma, what more shall I say? You've already said whatever I have kept in my heart and soul. Some people pass many kalpas entangled in fruitive activities. Suddenly, by the grace of the Lord, they get to render a little service to a Vaishnava. Hearing the divine topics of Krishna from such a Vaishnava, they attain freedom from material bondage. Then they become so devoted to serving Krishna, they don't care a fig for the 5 kinds of mukti, or liberation." Brahma, I want to say something about Prema Bhakti and who is eligible to receive Gopi Bhav, the love of the gopis. The pure love of the gopis conquers the Lord of the three worlds in the same way that a paramour conquers her lover by her spontaneous love. Who can explain that Prema Bhakti of the gopis? Uddhava, the great devotee of the Lord, was ready to take birth as a creeper in Vrindavan in order to get the dust from the feet of the gopis. Uddhava himself describes this in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Quote, "The gopis of Vrindavan have given up the association of their husbands, sons, and other family members who are very difficult to give up, and they've forsaken the path of chastity to take shelter at the lotus feet of Mukunda, Krishna, which one should search for by Vedic knowledge. Oh, let me be fortunate enough to be one of the bushes, creepers, or herbs in Vrindavan, because the gopis trample them and bless them with the dust of their feet." The lotus feet of the Lord, which are meditated upon by Lord Brahma, Shiva, the Munis, the great yogis, are really attained by them. Lakshmi Devi massages those feet, which have an indescribably sweet effulgence. Although the four Vedas are constantly reciting the glories of the Lord's lotus feet, they've already reached the shore of the ocean where he rests upon the bed of Ananta Shesh. They've hardly reached the shore of the ocean where he rests upon the bed of Ananta Shesh. Being controlled by their pure spontaneous love, that very same Lord himself worshipped the feet of the gopis. There are also hundreds of devotees who have brought the Lord under control by following in the footsteps of the gopis. There's no comparison to the confidential pure love shared between the Vraj gopis and Krishna, the supersoul of all living entities. Their love is matchless and supreme. Although it sometimes resembles the lusty dealings between mundane paramours, that love is totally pure and transcendental. That quality of pure bhakti, which Ananta and Lakshmi have never even heard of, Lord Gauranga will preach in the age of Kali. Then Narada, as per the Lord's request, asked Lord Brahma to tell everyone in Brahmaloka to expand themselves and take birth on earth in Kali Yuga in order to assist Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. After saying this, Narada, feeling ecstatic, left Brahma's abode. Narada continued visiting the demigods. He was playing gently on his veena and singing sweetly. These nectarine sounds showered the world with bliss and enchantment. Absorbed in ecstasy, Narada chanted Haribol, Haribol, as he informed the three worlds of the upcoming appearance of Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, the avatar for the age of Kali. The Lord would come with his joyful associates. Lochana Dasa says, Lord Gauranga's mercy will inundate the world with nectar. All glories to the Lord of the universe. In Kali Yuga, the Lord appears to propagate Krishna Bhakti. In Kali Yuga, the people in the land of Nadia are all fortunate. All glories to Jagannath Mishra, in whose house Gauranga appeared. Oh, how wonderful! The glorious Lord Gauranga, along with the auspicious sound of conchas, mridangas, and karatals, will preach transcendental glories of the Lord and flood the 14 worlds with the mellow love of Krishna. Lord Krishna Chaitanya will first taste the sweet ras of Raja Prem. Then he will distribute it to satisfy the hankerings of everyone, from the chandalas to the demigods. Forgetting myself in ecstasy of Krishna consciousness, I, Lochana Dasa, proclaim that in this way the supreme auspicious, blissful treasure of Vrindavan will appear on the earth. Murari Gupta continued speaking to Damodar Pandit. Indra, Chandra, the Yogindras, the demigods became joyful and danced ecstatically upon hearing about the Gauranga avatar from Narada Muni. The residents of every planet felt rejuvenated, like dead trees sprouting anew. Lord Jagannath glorifies Gauranga. When Narada returned to the earth planet, he noticed a decline in religious practices of the people. They'd given up the practices of charity, penances, and austerities. Neglecting all pious activities, men were using their bodies, minds, and words only to glorify their wives. Men were totally infatuated with women and sense enjoyment. Nobody cared a fig for yoga or self-realization. Observing these symptoms, Narada became convinced that during his visit to Brahmaloka, the age of Kali had arrived on earth, and feeling disturbed, Narada sat down to meditate. Suddenly, he heard a divine voice in the sky. I am Lord Jagannath, the Lord of the universe. I have appeared as Daru Brahman, the form of the Lord in wood. I am residing in Nilachala, beside the sea, for the deliverance of all fallen souls. Have you forgotten the past? In order to fulfill the promise of Katyayani Devi, I've descended to distribute my Mahaprasad to everyone. Now, O best of the sages, come to Nilachala, Jagannath Puri, and obey my order. Overwhelmed with love, Narada cried out, "Oh, Jagannath!" Playing his world-enchanting veena, he hastened to Nilachala. Entering the grand temple, he saw the large, round, lotus face of Lord Jagannath. His face was more cooling, brilliant, and beautiful than a million moons. Narada saw Lord Jagannath as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, the fountainhead of all incarnations. The Lord was full of ecstasy and had an effulgent smile. Now he had appeared in a most merciful form as a worshipful deity. Falling at Lord Jagannath's feet, Narada said, "Please, Lord Jagannath, the age of Kali has come. Please bestow your mercy. People are bewildered, extremely degraded, and full of lamentation. Controlled by their senses, they're engaged in the most gross sinful activities." Lord Jagannath smiled, touched Narada's hand, and said confidentially, "Narada, now you should go to Goloka, the topmost spiritual planet. Lord Gaurasundar is residing there. Lakshmi and many other ladies lovingly serve Lord Hari, who is the only enjoyer. The residents are happy there. Radha and Rukmini are the principal queens, along with their many expansions. They serve the Lord as his consorts. Following in their footsteps, hundreds and thousands of devotees also serve the Lord. Satyabhama serves the Lord with her incomparable beauty and matchless qualities. Indeed, she's the most beautiful woman in the three worlds. She's the connoisseur of cleverness and knows the limits of Ras. Satyabhama enjoys charming pastimes encompassing the various rasa-laden arts. After worshipping Srimati Radharani, the Lord expanded himself into many forms to enjoy the rasa dance in Vrindavan with hundreds of loving gopis. With one mouth, how is it possible to describe the limitless glories of this sweet pastime? In Dwarka, all the ladies obey Rukmini Devi. Their minds are full of devotion, and they always sing the Lord's glories. Even when they're all together with Krishna, they experience individual flavors of ras. The 4 types of salvation are given by the Lord of Vaikuntha. Even fallen people in the material world may attain liberation by rendering devotional service. Only pure bhakti, however, can control the Supreme Lord. Being surrounded by Lakshmi Devi, the Lord is always rich, but he's always in need of the taste of pure love. Just as sugar cannot taste its own sweetness, but helps others to taste and enjoy it, similarly, with the help of bhakti, salvation is automatically attained. Liberation impedes the natural flow of pure devotional service. You should know that Prema Bhakti Yoga far surpasses the 4 types of liberation. The Supreme Lord of Goloka will come to Puri as Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to distribute his mercy. As the Lord of all lords, he'll have a tall golden form. By freely giving his mercy, he will mitigate everyone's sufferings. He'll preach, chant, and glorify the holy names. He'll distribute the bliss of pure Krishna Prem to deliver all people in Kali Yuga. Now, go see him, and you'll get relief from all your miseries. After hearing from Lord Jagannath, Narada Muni left Puri and traveled to Vaikuntha. While moving, Narada was thinking, I have heard many confidential talks in Srimad Bhagavatam about Mukti and Bhakti. I have also heard about that place which is unknown, unmanifest in this world, and beyond the knowledge of the Vedas. Today I will see that place manifest before my eyes. Narada visits Vaikuntha. Infatuated with Krishna Prem and playing his veena, the great sage moved quickly to Vaikuntha. He became even more ecstatic when he heard the sweet singing of the residents of Vaikuntha. Arriving at the gate, Narada praised Lord Vishnu with the most auspicious prayers. The Lord of Vaikuntha was sitting on a jeweled asana, surrounded by his eternal associates. Narada Muni fell at the Lord's feet in a respectful submission. Immediately the Lord picked him up and embraced him. Laughing and smiling, the Lord said, "Narada, please reveal your mind to me. Immediately tell me the secrets of your heart. I am eager to fulfill your desire. I will easily reveal to you whatever you can't understand." With folded hands and a humble heart, Narada replied, "My Lord Narayan, you are the supersoul of all living entities. Since you already know everything, what more can I say? In your Daru Brahman form as Lord Jagannath, you told me about a wonderful form of yours. Now I want to see that form." Then Narayan, the jewel mine of all transcendental qualities, said, "That form is my original form, replete with many different energies standing like a shadow. They serve him in his unlimited number of incarnations. I am all-pervading and within everything. Lakshmi Devi and the four muktis, forms of salvation, follow me. I'm the wealth of Lakshmi Devi. Narada, this Vaikuntha planet which you have come to is an expansion from the original topmost spiritual planet called Goloka Vrindavan. The four types of mukti act here like a shadow, covering the brilliant reality of bhakti. In Goloka Vrindavan, however, there is nothing but spontaneous, pure devotional service. Srimati Radharani is the original energy, the very embodiment of prema. She alone controls Sri Krishna, the supreme enjoyer. Their abode is called the Maha Vaikuntha, the topmost planet among the Vaikunthas. 3/4 of the Lord's energy is found in the spiritual world. I can definitely say that Gaurahari is beyond the touch of Maya. He is a desire tree full of compassion. O great sage Narada, go to his abode, take shelter of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Shiksha Guru for the whole world. Narada sees Gauranga in Goloka. Narada moved toward Goloka, playing his veena, and singing the glories of Hari. Overwhelmed with ecstasy, his body showed various symptoms of transcendental love like horripilation. One moment he would run, calling out, "Gauranga!" The next moment he would stagger a few steps, turn his head around for no reason, and then run forward rapidly. Suddenly, a soothing Vaikuntha breeze flowed over him, and in the distance he saw a wonderful effulgence more cooling than 1,000,000 moons. Narada's senses became inert when he smelled the sweet fragrance of the Lord's lotus feet. Narada saw that the residents of Goloka were in a playful mood. Thousands of cupids surrounded the Lord, waiting to serve him. Their bodily features were very attractive. Their talking was a shower of nectar singing, and their walking was full of dancing and dramatic gestures. They seemed completely satisfied by an inner bliss created by pure love of God. Kalpaviksha trees and Kamadhenu Surabi cows dotted the landscape. Seeing some flowering vines, Narada remembered Uddhava's desire to take birth as a creeper in Vrindavan. And soon Narada came to an attractive private grove in the inner portion of Goloka. There he saw the golden form of Krishna, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, sitting upon an ornately decorated, brilliant golden throne. The throne was placed on a jewel-studded platform under an incredibly beautiful desire tree. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, his gentle face adorned with an ecstatic smile, sat there peacefully. His form was more nectarine and beautiful than the sweetness of honey. A mango twig resting atop a covered water pot sat beside the throne. Gauranga Roy's left toe was touching the water pot. The grove was illuminated by a bejeweled lamp shining like the sun. Radhika and her gopi friends, representing the energies of Vrindavan, holding jeweled water pots, stood on the Lord's right side. On the left side, representing the energies of Dwarka, were Rukmini and her followers, holding golden water pots containing jeweled water. Nagdaji gave a full pot of water to Mitravinda, who in turn gave it to Sulakshan. She gave it to Rukmini, who then used that celestial Ganges water to bathe Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Tilotama, one of Indra's apsaras, filled another water pot and passed it to Madhupriya, who gave it to Chandramukhi. She gave it to Radhika, Radharani, who poured the water on Gauranga's head in Abhishek. Satyabham gave celestial scents, dresses, garlands, and ornaments to Lakshman, Subhadra, and Bhadra, with golden water pots full of celestial Ganges water soaked in jewels. Everyone bathed the transcendental form of Lord Chaitanya. From all directions, celestial ladies came with wonderful cloths, jewels, and ornaments for the Lord. The best minstrels stood near Gaurai, praising him with select prayers. According to the Vedas, the best meditation is to always remember the Abhishek of the Lord of Goloka. The beautiful body of Mahaprabhu shone like molten gold. His 2 arms were long and graceful. He was being worshipped by devotees, chanting the 4-syllable mantra. That same form appears with 4 arms in Vaikuntha. There his body is the color of a newly formed rain cloud, and he holds the 4 symbols of Vishnu in his 4 hands: Chakra, Padma, Shankha, and Gada. Upon seeing Gauranga, the great sage became overwhelmed with divine love. He fell upon the Lord's feet and bathed them with his tears. Smiling, the Lord picked up Narada and put him on his lap. At that time Narada said, "O my Lord, you are very dear to me. You've destroyed all my pain and misery. My dear Mahaprabhu, I've never seen such amazing things. Now my life is perfect. Never before have I seen such nectarine beauty compressed in one form. Even my father Brahma can't understand you. You're completely indescribable. Some say you are the Supreme Effulgence. Others say your existence defies definition. There's no example to describe your effulgent aspect. Some say you are the topmost Supreme Personality. No amount of speculation can measure you. One can't get liberation even if he knows all about your all-pervading energy. In this way, your transcendental pastimes defy comprehension. Ananta, with thousands of mouths, can't reach the end of your transcendental qualities. Although he's trying, he can't properly glorify you. By your mercy, I saw your form as Lord Gauranga, which was impossible for me to perceive otherwise. Yogis and Sankhyaites believe the path of bhakti is the gross way to approach the Supreme. They say only through mysticism and meditation can one realize transcendence. Nevertheless, the devotees are resolute in their consciousness. They simply fix their minds on the lotus feet of the Lord and worship him with undivided attention. According to the Vedas, some follow the path of Varnashram Dharma. Some munis, without understanding the Vedas, try to present the conclusion of Vedanta. Why do different philosophers present conflicting views? Some stubbornly insist that the absolute truth is a non-differentiated oneness. I fully understand that you are beyond the reach of knowledge, guesswork, or speculation. Please, give me the mercy of your lotus feet. I feel great anguish. My Lord, just let me die and be reborn so I can attain prema bhakti and lead a life of Krishna consciousness. After hearing Narada Muni's appeal, Lord Gauranga smiled and said, Narada, king of the sages, just come with me. Let us go to Navadvip, and we'll deliver the people of Kali Yuga by preaching my pure devotional service. I reside in Svetadvip along with my elder brother Balaram, whose expansion is Ananta. He is served by Lord Shiva and the 11 Rudras. Balaram, in his expanded form as Shirdakshay Vishnu, and his wife Revati, are now sporting in the ocean of milk. He arranges for the incarnations to first enter the material world. Narada, go quickly to Svetadvip and ask the Lord to take the name of Nityananda and appear on earth with the eternal associates. Narada Muni, feeling blissful and satisfied in his heart to hear from Lord Gauranga, chanted Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Lochana Dasa declares that one will be swept away in waves of ecstasy by hearing this transcendental conversation. Gauranga tells why he descends. Murari Gupta continues narrating to Damodar Pandit. After Narada's departure, the Lord thought to himself, and then announced to his beloved associates, "Listen carefully as I explain why I incarnate on earth." The Lord, the greatest of all controllers, always thinks about the welfare of the world. He was surrounded by Radharani on his right side, Rukmini on his left. All his delightful queens, dear associates, intimate followers were also present. They were all eager to listen to the Lord's nectarine words. Millions of eyes were not enough to appreciate the unique beauty of the Lord's face. As many chakora birds hanker after the rays of one moon, simply their eyes were thirsty to drink the nectar of the moonlight face of Lord Gauranga. Revealing the purpose of his incarnation to all his eternal associates, Lord Chaitanya said, "In every age I appear in the material world to deliver the saints, to reestablish religion. Without understanding the purpose of my advent, ignorant people continue to commit sinful activities. It hurts me that after Satya Yuga, sinful activities gradually increase with the progress of the ages. Seeing the appalling condition of Kali Yuga, I feel compassionate and personally incarnate in order to manifest my love. I will personally teach the people the difference between religion and irreligion. I'll give them the most difficult to attain jewel of Prema Bhakti. In Navadvip, on the bank of the Ganges, I'll appear as the son of Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata. In my previous incarnations, I killed the demons, but as Lord Gauranga, I will conquer them with my love. In my other incarnations, I took fierce forms and powerful weapons to obliterate many huge and invincible demons. In Kali Yuga, however, I'll use the weapons of my transcendental holy names, qualities, and the potency of my Prema Bhaktas, pure devotees. With these, I'll conquer the people's demonic mentalities and award them pure devotional service to Radha and Krishna." There's a note here that the chapter continues on, but it's missing. We don't have the document for the end of the chapter. So, for all intent and purposes, this is the end of chapter 2.